All right. Hey, Trenton, how are you? This is Trenton Rippey with Young Americans for Liberty. So, I wanted to just play something really fast to show people what we're trying to talk about. So, I pulled up you got a really nice little bump on Channel 7 the other day
Yeah,
about
thank you.
you.
You did a good job.
Yes. So, you had about how many people show up at the
Shoot,
Capitol?
we had close to 40 to 50 people, definitely over 40. And that was, we had several people that had to last minute cancel out because of family emergencies or a medical emergency or something. So that was even with flakes. We still had a great show out with people.
Well, it was absolutely amazing. So tell people what you're doing because people need to get involved in this. And especially if you're my age and have kids in college. And if you're, I mean, my poor kids have to put themselves through college. So this is
Yeah.
a real stinger for them. So tell people what's going on.
Yeah, so right now in the Oklahoma legislature, the bill already passed through the House, albeit slightly watered down, but there's, I think, some attempts to reform it back to the full text. But it's still a very good bill. It's House Bill 2197. Essentially, what this bill does is it prohibits public universities from exploiting students by forcing them to buy a meal plan on the concepts of either enrollment or on campus housing. Right now, it's sitting in the Senate Education Committee. So myself here today and our activists throughout the week have been doing is we've been here at the legislature talking to the Senate Education Committee members, or at least attempting to, because some are harder to find than Bigfoot. But we're making the voices heard through the confrontational model of politics. Just simply sending an email isn't good enough for us anymore. We have to be right in their face. We have to, have a showing of people, and that's what we're continuing to do. We are asking anyone, it takes less than 30 minutes, really probably less than 15 minutes to call through the Senate Education Committee members, especially the chair and the vice chair, to tell them, hey, this is something that we care about. This is something that we want. We want our voices to be heard. They put out their list of their own priorities. Well, I'm sorry. We're not here for what the chair and the vice chair want. We're here for what the people want. And what the people want is
Wait,
for the
what? Are you
Congress.
sure? Are you positive?
I think that's how government's supposed to work. I think a lot of our great legislators have forgotten that that's the case. But that's what our job is as activists, is to remind them that, hey, you work for us, you work for the taxpayers, not for the special interests. You know, Last I checked, there's a lot more students, parents, and people around the state concerned about the meal plans than they are about banning cell phones at school. Uh, and if you're a parent that needs a bill to stop your kid from taking a cell phone to school, well, maybe you need to look at how you're doing parenting in your own home first.
Hey,
Uh,
don't make people
but yeah,
responsible for their own actions, Trenton. They don't like that very much.
I know that's
Um, so give
a
us a
big
little bit
task.
of down low on that bill, okay? So what will
Yeah,
the bill do right now?
yeah. So right now, um, let's pretend that the bill doesn't get amended back to the full text. So
Okay.
full text bill applies to every public university. Right now, current text bill would still hit the two largest universities. It would hit OU and OSU, and it would apply to any and future research universities. So that means even if some of these smaller schools, like we've even seen UCO and some of these other schools, are looking at bumping up their status to be like a larger research university as they enter into new college systems, this would apply to them too. So yeah, I mean, we want the full thing though. We don't want just the micro. Now, the micro that we're talking about here, applying to OU and OSU would still be pretty stinking good. Would be probably the first state in the country to pass something like this and to free thousands of students, across the state. But I want to help out as many people as we can. I want the full
Yeah.
thing, the whole enchilada, whatever you want to call it. And I know that that's what these college students do too. And I think that this is a nonpartisan issue.
Yeah.
I've talked to, mostly Republicans because that's who's here at the Capitol, but we've talked to Democrats too that are behind this. It's a common sense thing. It's something. It's simple. There's not a bunch of pork added into it, you know, and we're not saying that colleges can't have meal plans. Just don't force it on someone, you know, and it goes, and, you know, it's really interesting because with any other product or service, I don't have the right to force it on the people, but suddenly they think that's okay with the meal plan. If your product's good enough, people are still going to buy it. And that's what we're wanting here, some actual accountability on the university's part of, you know, providing the quality service that's worth the money. And if it's worth the money, I think students will keep buying it. But right now it's not. And so that's, you know, this is something to remind people of too, is that your taxpayer dollars are being used currently to fight against us right now on this, because the universities are hiring taxpayer funded lobbyists to go up here and advocate against it. So that's a pretty big issue that we're facing too right now. I mean, I do think part of it's just leadership being bullheaded on not wanting to, you know, it's an ego thing. You know, some legislators don't like getting whipped into shape by their constituents and having to actually vote how they want them to vote. But, you know, we're only 3 days into session.
Trenton, I mean, the colleges make bank off of these meal plans, because how many people eat that slop? Like you said in the interview, I kind of giggled. I was like, they don't offer some great stuff here.
And, you know, with these meal plans too, it's not only are you're being forced to pay for it, but you're getting money stolen from you, because if you don't use all of it, it doesn't roll over. They don't credit it back to your account. And what's even funnier is a lot of these campuses, they have a system where, well, you know, partially into the school year, you can add more money onto your account. Well, it's like, well, why can't I just add more money onto my account whenever I feel like it? Why do I got to put up $4,000 to $6,000 right up front? You know, it's ridiculous, you know, and the administrators, they aren't eating on campus. They're, you know, going home to a home cooked meal. You know, I think if the college presidents want to keep fighting us on this, then we can lock them up in a moldy dorm and make them eat cafeteria food if that's the game that they want to play.
Sorry, that's kind of funny. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's been through the House, right?
That's correct.
So now we've just got to get it into the Senate Education Committee. And so people need to call the members of the, or email, but you prefer call
Yes.
the members of the Senate Education Committee and get them to hear HB 2197.
That is correct. And my word of advice too, for people that are calling, call until someone answers. Don't just leave a voicemail. If you got to dial 2-3 times, that's what some activists have done. Get them on the phone line. They've got people, that's their job, to answer to the people, to relay the message to the senator, and don't settle for anything less, because that's what some of them want you to do. But that's, you know, a mentor of mine says that you don't get what you want, you get what you tolerate. And so we're not going to tolerate a subpar performance from anyone in the Capitol building.
Well, I mean, you're the people, and they are to respond to we the people. I did have to laugh. I saw one of the signs just cracked me up. It said, "Let me cook." I was like, well, why not? I mean, you could do a better job than the cafeteria can. So absolutely. All right. Well, Trenton, thank you so much for joining us with this. I mean, I just think if we get it out here and kind of, you know, spread it around, hopefully people will get this done. When do we need to call? Like ASAP, right?
ASAP, daily. I tell everyone, I don't care if they've said we'll move your message on and you've already on the phone, call daily, call by the hour, do whatever you want. But, you know, until we get it, I think their committees are on Tuesdays, if I recall correctly. So,
yes, I think so.
You know, hopefully we see something by next Tuesday. And if not, double dial and double down.
All right. Thank you, Trenton, for being with us. I really appreciate you. And thank you for joining us, everybody. Please pass this on and please make those phone calls. Thanks.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me on.
All righty. Bye.